From UFOs to psychic powers and government conspiracies, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here's where it gets crazy. All right, this might not be the answer everyone was expecting, but yeah, aluminum does, in fact, to a degree, block some frequencies. It's just not near as effective as some folks would like to believe. Like, there's the experiment you can do at home to get a sense of this. Take a sheet of aluminum foil, lay it out on a flat surface, take your smartphone or your burner, wrap the phone in foil. Okay, Matt's doing it. And then,
this is the tutorial part of the podcast.
Yes. Like, I'm with you. Yeah. Step what? Step 1, 3?
Okay, now wrap the phone.
Okay.
All right, and then tell us when you got it wrapped up.
Okay, wrapped up.
Nice and tight, snug as a button.
Looks like a candy bar.
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
Golden ticket up in that?
Yeah. Dude, you could get that seasonal job wrapping gifts at department stores. That was very neat job. Okay, so true believers will tell you that this has created a Faraday cage, that this has blocked the entirety of that signal. However, we can try this right now. All that needs to happen is one of us needs to try to call Matt.
Oh, yeah. Call me. Somebody call me or text me or something.
Do the honors?
I'm on it. I'm on it so I can be part
of
the biz.
Oh, wait. I need to turn on so we can hear. Okay, maybe it'll ring. Let's see.
Hang on, let's see.
Detention.
Fred Newsom.
You got to search for me. I'm not in your favorites.
Here you are. Yeah, you are. I got a lot of Freds in my favorites.
Really?
Matty Freds.
I don't know. Is anything going to happen?
Hang on.
It went straight to voicemail. My phone is on.
I think it works.
Whoa, that was
snap.
Okay. This is why it was important for us
it.
to do this. Yeah, I thought it would disrupt the signal, right? It would interfere with it, but I didn't know one sheet alone could do the trick. I thought you would need a lot more foil to shut it down. Well,
that was one sheet. Okay, wait, hold on. Wait, we got to do control. Call one more time. I'm unwrapping my phone. Just really fast to make sure this isn't just weird. I'm sorry to waste so much time.
No, this is perfect. It's not a waste of time.
This is the stuff dreams are made of.
Yeah.
Conspiracy dreams. Here we go. Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Can you hear that?
All
it's
right.
ringing. It says Noel Brown.
It wasn't ringing before.
It says Noel Brown.
It didn't ring.
Yeah.
All right.
That's crazy.
It worked.
We've
It
confirmed
didn't ring this many times either. It rang like 3 times and went to voicemail.
Wow.
Interesting. So what this is something we wanted to recreate as an experiment. We hope you guys enjoyed it because, as you can tell, we were surprised that this worked so well. People try.
I'm doing that from now on, by the way, Ben. Like from now on, that's what's happening.
People try this trick in the modern day, though, and one of the most recent infamous examples that I remember, at least, is the story of Ghislaine Maxwell. Remember when she was hiding out before the law came for her? And I did check before we recorded today to make sure that she is still alive. She is for now. The prosecutors in the Maxwell case noted they had this thing that may have gotten lost in the shuffle, but they said when agents started conducting a security sweep of her house, the place she was hiding, after she had been apprehended, they noticed that she had a cell phone wrapped in tinfoil on top of a desk. And they said it was apparently an effort to evade detection. Forbes, with some like diplomatic snark, later said, quote, "It was not a work of technical genius."
Well, I wonder if it blocks just the radio frequencies that are coming from the cell towers, but it wouldn't block like a Wi-Fi signal maybe. Or,
that's a good question.
I mean, that I'm gonna have to,
because I mean,
test
not
that
all
something out.
waves are created equal, right? Like they're different.
Yeah.
You know, they're different sizes. They're different levels of what's the word, penetration. You know, in terms of like the distance they can travel, and like a Bluetooth signal is still a wireless, you know, bit of radiation, but it's not the same as a Wi-Fi signal. It has to be in close proximity,
Well
closer
said.
proximity.
Yeah, they're not all created equal. And there's these radio waves we're talking about now are a form of EMF radiation. That aluminum foil, as we just demonstrated, acts as a barrier. And if you have enough of it, then it could block those waves. There's the other example is just the basic Faraday cage, which we mentioned earlier. Don't let the name cage necessarily fool you. It's any kind of structure that can block these types of energy. It's usually going to be a wire mesh of a metal, often aluminum. And the idea is it can completely block radio and microwave radiation. So you might be thinking of references to Faraday cages in fiction like Lost or in somewhere else. Oh, in Fringe, there's a guy who builds an internal Faraday cage, and it's pretty gross in cyberpunk.
I think
but-
about it like
yeah.
chainmail armor.
Yeah.
I don't know
Great
why.
example. Yeah, because it's a kind of armor.
Well, there are those dudes that work on like high tension wires, you know, really, really high up, and they have to ground themselves, and they wear literally a suit that looks like chainmail armor that is kind of a wearable Faraday cage, if I'm not mistaken. And they have this big pole they use to ground themselves, and they're able to handle the power lines without getting exploded.
Amazing. And those guys do make a lot of money, but they are earning every cent of it. You need a particular set of skills. So the most important factor of any Faraday cage is that a mesh is fine. It'll work as well as a full sheet of metal, but the mesh will be fine as long as there are no holes larger than the shortest wavelength of the radio or the microwaves. They're trying to enter that barrier. And if you only think of Faraday cages in the world of fiction, you might be surprised to learn that odds are you are regularly using a Faraday cage in your everyday life. If you're not, then someone you know most certainly is.
Yeah, when you reheat your pizza, not like me, when you throw that thing in the microwave. Ugh. Why would you do that? I'm shaming you right now.
Dude, your pizza shaming me, bro? Your pizza shaming me? You
No,
and your
'cause I do
posh
that-
oven reheated crispy edge pizza. Absurd.
I'm joking, everybody. I totally
What are you,
reheat.
the king of France over here?
I mean, yes, but
He's a pizza supremacist. I knew it.
no.
Looking
no.
back, it all makes sense. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no. I'm team oven as well, but I do think that microwaves, they're tremendously useful. And whenever you look at that little window, right, being paranoid myself, I don't like to hang too close to the microwave just in case.
Never do it.
Never do it. But that little window with that wire mesh on there is part of basically Faraday cage. It's a material that is small enough such that it prevents microwave radiation from zapping you.
So what, we all know, speaking of reheating pizza, you should never reheat pizza in the microwave when it's wrapped in tinfoil, because that will cause a minor fire or perhaps explosion. What is it about the metal that the microwaves interact with that causes these dangerous effects?
I'm so glad you asked, because metals are great conductors of electricity, essentially because they have a lot of electrons, and those electrons move about freely. And so when microwaves, like in your microwave oven, when microwaves hit metal objects, those microwaves get reflected and they bounce back and forth, and there's not enough material inside the microwave oven to absorb those microwaves that are bouncing back and forth. And so they arc between the metal object and another part of the microwave oven. And anybody who's like accidentally left a spoon maybe in some cheese dip, you've seen this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put a little ball of tinfoil.
It's funny. There's a How Stuff Works article from back in the day by Marshall Brain himself. What if I put aluminum foil in the microwave? And I just had a hilarious misreading. It says radio waves in this frequency range have an interesting property. And then it says some things that can absorb them. It says water, fats, and sugars, but I read fats as farts.
Yes.
Because I'm a child.
Well, if you have to choose between the two, it's probably better for you to fart in the microwave instead of putting aluminum foil there. But it's just like the question, what do you do when you find yourself lost in the woods? Your first thing is to ask yourself how you got in that situation.
And then just fart
and then
bunch.
Just let it rip. You know what I mean?
If you fart in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it really make a sound? Well, you hear
or
it.
a smell.
Never mind. That's an irrelevant question because you're there.
you
You know what you did.
You know what
you disgusting creature.
And nature knows too. All the animals in the forest are like, this guy eats beans. So
that's why that fox ran to the White House, or the
rabbit
Capitol
fox
building, and started biting everybody.
He's tired of all the farts. He's tired of the fart crime.
It's had enough.
So, in terms of a basic concept, yes, there is science to this. If you're talking about the hat, though, the idea of a tinfoil hat, that science breaks down. The issue comes down to coverage. A tinfoil hat is only covering a small amount of your body, a very important neighborhood of your body, but a very small part. So unlike a true Faraday cage, this is no longer a closed structure. The hat has a huge opening, and the way this energy works, that opening renders this entire thing much less effective. You would be better off if you had like an aluminum ski mask. You'd be even better off if you had a full bodysuit made of aluminum foil or mesh. And guess what? I found some you can buy. Just if you're interested, there's a really cool looking one on Amazon. It looks like one of those old lava men suits.
I swear, you guys, I'm pretty sure this is the exact one that the props people on Better Call Saul used. It looks exactly like it. If you click on the link and you look at it, it's that.
For a low price of $322.04. You too
sold.
You too can look like you're about to fight in a volcano. It is for firefighters mainly, I think. There are entire companies that are dedicated to making this stuff. Like they'll make EM shielding socks, weird looking onesies almost. Noel, what's that? What's the name of that cool Japanese onesie style?
Kigurumi.
Yeah. They make things that look like foil kigurumi. And it's up to you if you want to buy it. Again, if you want to protect yourself from some sort of perceived radiation, you will probably need to cover the entirety of your body or make a room that is coated with something protective. These are possible, but they're pretty inconvenient to modern life. So it sounds like we're poo-pooing the idea. And we kind of are, based on what people believe it's protecting them from. But how can we say the normal hat doesn't work? How can we say this with such certitude? You don't have to take our word for it, fellow conspiracy realists. Instead, you can check out this amazing little study done by some MIT students in 2005. It's hilarious. It's called On the Effectiveness of Aluminum Foil Helmets, an Empirical Study.
Brilliant. You can hear just by the title, it's pretty tongue-in-cheek, right? I mean, you can just hear it. But it looked at 3 different versions or models of tinfoil hats to check out whether or not, they could actually send signals through them, right?
Sorry, Matt, these are helmets. These are tinfoil helmets, okay? Let's get it straight.
That's the title. Okay, that's the title.
I love that's the bit of tongue and cheekiness there, is even calling them helmets. I think it's a little silly and goofy.
Oh, dude. Well, it's pretty awesome because they did have 3, again, let's just call them models. There's the classical, which, Ben, do you think that's close to yours, or do you think that's got the more of the pointed top?
I've gone with, again, a more stylish sort of faux hawk because I think it looks aerodynamic. You want people.
It's very Spartan kind of. It's almost like a Spartan soldier's helmet.
If I had time, I would have tried to make something with a brim. I feel like there's probably a big market for brimmed aluminum hats, or maybe a cap,
Oh, yeah.
like a flat cap. Anyway,
Also known as the gentleman.
The gentleman.
That model.
So they use the classical, which is the gentleman, just a flat surface on covers your head like a swimming cap. Then there's the fez, which is it goes up almost like a bucket hat,
a little more cylindrical, perhaps.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like one of those Shriners hats, you know,
Or a chef's hat. Yeah.
Yes. And then there's the centurion, which is kind of like Ben's, only more elongated up top with a fan basically on the center line.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a good use of foil. You know what I mean? But at some point, it becomes a matter of aesthetics, right? So this. To be clear, this study was made in good spirits. It was made as a joke, and MIT loves this kind of stuff. The student body does, but it's also still MIT, which means the students did conduct good science. And what they found might be kind of a kick in the pants for anyone seriously considering wearing a tinfoil hat on the regular. They specifically found that, quote, although on average, all helmets attenuate invasive radio frequencies in either direction, either emanating from an outside source or emanating from the cranium of the subject, certain frequencies are, in fact, greatly amplified, around 2.6 gigahertz and 1.2 gigahertz. It's true.
Ooh, I'm writing that down. 2.6.
Everyone knows those are the bad frequencies, man. Those are the ones that get you.
I don't know that.
I know. I thought it was common knowledge.
we
You
want
must
to
not
share.
be reading the same blogs as me. Sorry, guys.
Right. That's why we Voltron up for the show, right?
And just as a reminder, those 5G signals that are being talked about a lot, and we mentioned them back when we were discussing altimeters within, or at least the systems like altimeters within the aviation industry here in the United States. The 5G signals we were talking about then were between 3.7 and 3.98 gigahertz.
And this leads to an exciting conclusion from the MIT guys. So the conspiracy here, at least MIT is waggishly proposing, is that Uncle Sam started telling people who are already paranoid to wear tinfoil helmets because it made their thoughts easier to read. Or something like that. I love it. I love that idea. Those are smart guys. Check out the study. It's worth it just to get a picture of the hats and the models they worked on. You might be screaming at your phone right now saying, wait, guys, if this is all true, why are people still buying and selling clothing meant to repel these waves, especially if everybody knows that the hats alone don't cut the conspiratorial mustard? Well, the thing is, not everybody is worried about invasive government mind rays or brainwashing. Instead, a lot of people, just like Jimmy's brother in Better Call Saul, are concerned that they have a heightened sensitivity to electromagnetic energy. Again, this is known as electromagnetic hypersensitivity, or EHS. And I suggest that we pause for a word from our sponsor, and then let's dive into the facts and fiction surrounding EHS, what makes it seem so controversial and even sometimes conspiratorial.